everyone, it's Lynette, and today I am filming a video to sort of motivate me to crack down on all the books that on my bookshelf that I have not read yet. So today I'm just going to take you shelf by shelf of my bookshelf here and tell you what books I haven't read, and hopefully some of you will shame me into reading some of these because I'm going through a bit of a reading slump. I don't know why. Fall is the perfect time to be reading, and I am in the middle of 2 books right now. That's just okay, but I think it's because I read so many great books in the month of September, and now I'm just sort of in this funk. So hopefully this video will motivate me, and you all can motivate me to read some of my massive TBR list. So without further ado, let's get to my TBR list. Shelf is obviously out of frame, but it is my red shelf because I categorize my books by color. The first book that I have yet to read is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and in my defense, I did start this one. It just was the springtime and I just wasn't really feeling this dark, moody book, so I am definitely going to pick this back up this fall. This book is House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. The next book is part of a series called the Lux series by Anna Godberson, and that is the Rumors in the Lux novel series. I believe these have new covers now, but I have them all in the original covers, but the new covers are absolutely stunning. Proxy by Alex London. A Tale as Old as Time by Liz Braswell. And finally, Simon and the Homo Sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli. So the next shelf is the one right above my head, and it's a continuation of the red books on my shelf. The first book is The Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. Altered Carbon by Richard K. Morgan, and this is also a Netflix series which is so good. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend that you do. Enders by Lissa Price. The Martian by Andy Weir. Sea of Shadows by Kelly Armstrong. And The Wrath and the Dawn. The next shelf I'll do is the one that's obviously all torn up, which is my yellow shelf. First on that shelf is The Zombie Chronicles by Darren Shan. I Am Number 4 and the Power of 6. As I Wake by Elizabeth Scott. Clean by Alex Hughes. Dark Inside by Jane Roberts. And finally, A Whole New World by Liz Braswell. The next shelf I'll be doing is the one right behind me, which is the yellow and green shelf. The first book is The Dark and Hollow Places by Carrie Ryan. The next is Void by Rhiannon Lasseter. I think I'm saying that right. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. Cruel by Jennifer Albin. And The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Probably my most embarrassing TBR to date. The next shelf on my TBR is this guy right here. The first book is My Plain Jane. Leah on the Offbeat. Revolution 19 by Greg Rosenblum. The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. Eve by Anna Carey. The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro. The Dead Tossed Waves by Carrie Ryan. And Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray. The next shelf is the one right behind me. It's a continuation of the blue shelf. First book is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black. Enclave by Anne Aguirre. Starters by Lissa Price. Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. The Young Elites by Marie Lu. Found, the Missing Series, Book 1 by Margaret Peterson Haddix. All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater. The next shelf is down here, sort of out of frame. It's a continuation of the blue into light blue shelf. The first being The Midnight Star by Marie Lu. The Lovely Bones. The 39 Clues by Rick Riordan, and yes, I really do want to read this book. The Rose and the Dagger. Big Little Lies, which I definitely want to read before I start watching the show. And The Forsaken. The next shelf is down here, directly behind me. The first book is Mosquitoland by David Arnold. Zenith by fellow booktubers. Breathe by Sarah Crozen. Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. Venom by Fiona Paul. Blythewood by Carol Goodman. Burn for Burn by Jenny Han. And finally, The Lux by Anna Godberson, which is the first in the Lux series, which is what I told you about back in the red section. The next shelf I'll be talking about is Down here, way out of frame, the first book on that shelf is Tiny Pretty Things, Survive the Night by Danielle Vega, Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld, Shatter Me, Numbers by Rachel Ward, and Bright Young Things by Anna Godberson. The next shelf is my all black books. The first one is Furyborn by Claire Legrand, Wink Poppy Midnight, Among the Hidden by Margaret Peterson Haddix, These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly, Caraval by Stephanie Garber, The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams Chima, and Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. And finally, the bottom two shelves, which didn't have very many TBRs on both of them, so I combined them together. The first one is Dread Nation by Justina Ireland, Envy by Anna Godberson, Lockdown by Alexander Gordon Smith, The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, Flawed, Capital Girls by Ella Monroe, and finally The Roar by Emma Clayton. So that's it. That is all like 80 some books on my bookshelf that I have yet to read. So if you've read any of these books and you want to shame me into reading them because they are your favorites and you just can't get enough of them, leave a comment down below and tell me which ones I should read first. And thank you so much if you watched this far into this video. Thank you for all your support and for subscribing and liking and commenting. You guys rock. So I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.